In order, let the record show that all commissioners are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I didn't get any citizens' comments unless somebody wants to speak. Next, we have the item 5 to vote on the set salaries, expenses, and other allowances of all elected county and precinct officers. Entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to set the salaries as in allowances of elected and precinct officers as prescribed in the budget. Do we need a list? Oh, you have a list, right? That we publish?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there's a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Second. Okay, any discussion or questions? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next. Budget hearing, anybody want to speak for or against the budget? Nobody? Okay.
Judge,
Yes.
I need to go back to number 5. I don't know if we can or not. I needed to amend the budget.
A
Travel.
budget or the salaries? What do you want to do?
No, amend the budget. My budget, precinct 4, travel allowance. The remaining, money to be moved to, operating.
Okay.
Well, that can be done at the next meeting.
At the next.
Well, that's why I had asked Frank, but he,
I misunderstood you.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about-
yeah, that's what I figured next
Yeah,
meeting.
no,
Okay,
it's, September 12th.
okay. That'll work. And you'll do that, right? Okay.
All right,
Judge, I've got a question also.
go ahead.
Mr. Lowe,
Yes,
up until we approve this budget, which will be next Monday, the Commissioners Court can still make changes, right?
Yes.
Up until the final approval.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
My biggest issue goes back to the thing I've been having an issue with for 20 years, is the other budgets, the special fund budgets, they're still not here.
I actually have copies, and I believe I have everyone's budget. I will get those and send through inter-office mail to the court, so you can review all of that.
And Commissioner, Anna's been working through she's been in real close contact with your office.
Yes.
I think Janie and the other clerk, also they presented her with some information. So, and I thought she was gonna have something today, but I know that Sonia and everybody's been working on stuff even over the
It's just,
weekend.
I didn't know you needed it, but I can go print it real quick because I already have it done.
That would be
If
great.
there's nothing else, so we'll just have them. I don't think we'll be able to do anything with it now, but we have another budget
Yeah,
workshop.
on Monday.
That it'd give us time to review it.
And I know there were still a couple of departments that were still working on some of the accounts, Commissioner.
Yeah.
So we're not 100% done.
And I know that, I think maybe all of y'all have been working on something, on some part of that.
I appreciate y'all working on it, and I would like to see it as part of this. If not, and those departments that don't put them in and we don't approve them, I'm gonna put an item on the agenda to freeze all their expenditures.
But you said they are all in, Frank?
I believe I have them all. I will, I've got them in my office. I apologize for not including them in your packet, but I,
Well,
And they're in an understandable manner?
they're pretty general.
But we still have time
Yes.
to adjust this and those to do what we need to do.
Yes.
So if we want to move capital out of here under those, we can, or whatever we need to do. We still have time to do that, once we get them.
We can, okay.
and our county attorney's been working real hard on the specifics of which account can be used. I think, speaking with Anna last night, there were some accounts that were actually like duplicated.
Right. And I think some of the difficulty is the way they're called or the monies are being deposited in. don't coincide with what the statute calls for, that doesn't make it wrong. It's just more difficult to track, and that's what.
And I don't think, and looking at some of the accounts, last night, I think what Anna had said was that, might not be going to they might not have an account set up for that. But in other words, for the fee that we're collecting, an account might not be set up for it. So it's going into the same account instead of separate accounts. So
They need to be separated out.
Yeah.
Into the proper
And that's like what I'm
accounts.
saying.
And that'll certainly make it a lot easier to keep track of them in the future.
And I'm like Commissioner Nettleton, we don't want just, we're getting in X number of dollars and we're spending X number of dollars. I mean, we need detailed
I'll get
budgets.
you copies of what I have, and that way you'll have that ability to look those over before.
Yeah, before Monday.
It's my understanding that they are required to provide a budget the same as ours, the breakdown with, office supplies, all the different items, not just, we have $400 and we're spending $400 and, there has to actually be a breakdown of
And a
what.
lot of these funds, now that they've gone through them, they should have come to the court.
Good morning.
Morning.
Right.
So we will get those before our next meeting. Okay. And Judge, don't forget, we also need to notify anyone with special accounts that before they make an expense out of that account, they need to come to make it a court for approval.
Okay.
Frank, that beginning cash balance does or does not have the 910,000 we just drew down?
It does have it.
It does have it. That's why we readjusted, because it was less than that, I think. Now you got 1.8.
I think it's 1.3.
Yeah. So this one does have it now.
Yeah.
Any other comment, discussion? And thank you for providing those that information before Monday. Okay. All right, next we're gonna have the approval of subdivision plats. Certain, I think we only have one.
I'd like to wait till they're done with their conversation before we go on.
Go ahead.
No need to rush things,
And then Maria's printing more.
David, we didn't mean to scare you away, sir.
Judge, Commissioner, this is a plat here in precinct 4, Commissioner Flores' precinct. This is a plat of land that is owned by Vilma Aguirre. Actually, it's 2.30, 2 acres, 2.3 acres of land. Right here, Taco Tiempo is operating, has been for years. They're connected to water and sewer. By the way, this is an original plat, not a replat. This was a meets and bounds piece of property.
Does this comply with follow subdivision rule?
Yes, it does. They've already paid for a water and sewer. tap.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Nobody? Thank you, 5-0. Right. Anything else? I think you got a copy of all the funds that were given. Look them over, and if there's any other things that we need to do for Monday. All right, nothing else?
Just a comment, this is a draft. It doesn't include any of the justice court fees, because I didn't ask for a bill of costs from y'all. But the way this started, Commissioner Owens is really good about tricking me into working harder than I need to. The way it started is, the basic question was, we have these special funds, and how are they supposed to spend, and who controls how they're spent? Well, then it turned out that there's a couple of funds, like there's several funds for records and management, different costs, and several fees for archiving, but they're not separated. And some of the records management are actually for county-wide records, and the same thing with archives. And there's some fees, a couple fees that we're not charging at all, and fees that we are charging that aren't on the auditor's special fund list, and then fees that we're charging that are supposed to be allocated for specific uses that were not. And so I'm almost done, but just, yeah, it was a bigger project than I thought it was going to be. In fact, I told Commissioner Owens I could do it in a day.
Those fees that you said that were being collected but were not being reported, where was that money going?
I don't know. See, typically what happens is the clerks collect the money, and then they turn it into the treasurer. And the treasurer is supposed to deposit it according to, like, there's money that goes to the comptroller and different places, and then it's supposed to be deposited in the various accounts. But I don't know what happened. In terms of the records management fee that the county clerk was collecting, some of it was under the statute that's for the county clerk records, and some of it was under the statute that's for the county-wide records. So that money's been commingled.
We have, it's like everything else, when we begin to look at it, you have a bigger oh-hell moment than what you thought you were gonna have.
Yeah, I need to remember that I'm a county attorney, not an accountant, not a clerk. But you get started and you just can't stop.
And
Well,
there were some
can't
accounts
stop.
that the fee was collected, but a percentage of that he should have went somewhere else, and it didn't do it.
Where is our county treasurer?
You're not here.
Can you also get for us, Counselor, how much can be charged in certain accounts and how much we are actually charging?
I'm sorry.
There are set limits.
Right.
By statute of how much we can charge.
Right.
And in looking at some of those, we are charging more than what we're supposed to be charging.
I didn't look into that at all.
Can we get that information?
I could ask.
One of the things that we need to, and she just said it, is that she's not an accountant. I think somebody else, maybe our treasurer, somebody needs to look and check and see what we're collecting.
Because I broke down the court costs, and then on the memo, which is a draft, everybody wants just a draft, there's the statutory authority, and the first one is where the legislator enacts the actual fund, and then the ones that follow are how you collect them and what you charge. And I don't know specifically what the limits are to all of them. Some of them are set by the court, and some of them are set by statute.
Judge, can you ask our treasurer to get that information?
I mean,
We don't have a whole lot of time to review all
That was
this.
gonna be my next question. If we can't get this done by the time we approve the budget, can we do it afterwards and amend the budget?
Well, that would be up to Frank, but, I think what's gonna be the worst part is, in terms of the funds that have been commingled, how you're gonna distinguish,
Yeah.
and there's gotta be a formula of some sort, but, it's not gonna be 100% accurate.
and that's what we did, that's what we talked about last night. The formula, you just go by on a percentage basis of what's already there.
That's assuming the formula stays consistent.
Well, I mean, you'd have to do it almost year by year and then try to figure out what you collected that year.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to do that, and then you're gonna have to,
Yeah, that's gonna be a project.
yeah, but I mean, it's math.
No, but the thing is, it's supposed to be reported by, there's a report that the clerks turn in every month. And in there, it says which funds they collected. And it's already a predetermined list of bill of costs. And so what the treasurer's supposed to do is deposit them in different accounts or account for them separately. It doesn't necessarily have to be different accounts, but they have to account for them separately. So actually, it goes to the county treasurer. And then the county auditor just makes sure that those accounts are being spent the way they're supposed to be spent, or whatever y'all do. But the list that we have, that's the big problem, is the list that the county auditor has, which I'm sure is based on information you got from the county treasurer, is not complete, and it's not, again, it's commingled. And then there's some accounts there I don't even know. So, like miscellaneous and things
Do
like that.
We have a miscellaneous
I
account.
know the treasurer files reports with the state for those funds,
Mhm.
and then checks are issued to the state for the funds that are collected. But I don't know the specifics of that, because I don't do that, the treasurer does that, so.
He just walked in.
Could you come up here? Getting back, before he comes up here, getting back to Commissioner Nettleton's comment. If we approve the budget, but yet there are certain special accounts that we freeze because we didn't get the proper information, then we can go back and amend the budget and bring them back on.
On the special accounts.
Yes, sir.
That's what yes,
But we can only do it if we approve a preliminary budget.
yes.
If you haven't approved any budget for that
Right.
account, you can't amend it.
Right.
So whatever information you have, we could include it, approve it, freeze those accounts, and then amend the budget to do it.
Yes.
Do those accounts have to have money when the budget's approved, or can we just have, because you've got your special funds, special accounts list, can we just include the other fees to that, or do you have to have actual money?
The budget that those officers have given to me have a beginning cash balance and the way that they anticipate expending funds and what funds they anticipate collecting, and then an estimated ending cash balance in those funds.
Mm-hmm.
So that part is part of the overall adoption of the overall budget. So
And we can amend anything.
if you adopt the actual county's part of the budget, and then those funds would be frozen until a budget is adopted for those special funds. You can't expend any funds
No.
if a budget has not been adopted.
Yes.
But included in this list, and it's not stuff that I've gotten to yet, David's working on the tax assessor fees and the sheriff's fees, because I don't think that's gonna be a big deal, because I think they're just collected the same,
Those aren't.
and they're not very descriptive, and that's the only thing we're gonna add is a better description. And then
The
there's
two big ones are within the county clerks and the
district clerks. Mhm.
One of the other things that you come up with was that on our road, you asked last night,
Right.
what we collect and what, in other words, what makes up our income on our road and bridge. And she said that there was a fund there that she asked if we'd ever collected.
Well,
a fund
the
from
state
of
has
Texas.
contributed to the state's supposed to be sending us money for,
They do.
They do.
It's a county district lateral road fund.
that's exactly what it is.
And we put
It's
that,
about $28,000. And it's based on the report, each year the commissioners give a report on the miles within their precinct, and that's what distinguishes that amount of money they get. I think it's about $4 a mile or something. It's not a very, it's about
it's not a lot of money.
And is that supposed to be a separate line item, or does it matter?
It is a separate line item within the budget.
Okay.
Cover that on that.
Eric,
But that money is included in the general fund, not the road and bridge fund.
But it should, so it needs to be moved to the general fund.
Yeah, that was-
The road and bridge, it has to be in the
That
road
was,
and bridge.
that was what came up, that's what
Yeah.
we came up with last night.
Yes,
was,
it's in the general fund, and,
Can't do it.
okay.
Yeah, it's specifically for road and bridge. You can't use it for anything.
Commissioner, you still, Mr. Rodriguez is here, you need to ask a question.
Well, so if people,
Come on, Tim.
We're asking about, Counselor. The funds that are collected through like the county clerk and district clerk, they collect fees, and then some of those fees are supposed to be broke out and put into different accounts.
Are we doing that?
Yeah.
It should be done that way, yes.
Well, no, it should be, what I'm asking is, are we?
That's the way we should be doing it, yes.
So you have an account, so if she collects $10, 5 goes to this account, 5 goes to that account, 3 goes to, and that's the way it's broke out,
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't seen
That's
it.
the way the report comes. So it should
But
be
you
done.
put it in a separate account, you don't put it all in one account.
No. If I'm understanding this right, no, we don't put it on one account.
So you have different accounts for each one of these line items.
Which line items are we talking about to begin with?
Which one were we, it was on the, records management, archives, countywide record management, and then county clerk.
Yes, they all have
record
separate
management.
accounts.
They're all separate
Yes.
accounts.
Yes.
And can we get those, balances, or where we're at?
I don't have that right now, but I
No, I
can
mean, I
definitely.
understand you don't have it right
Yeah, I
now, but can we get all of those different accounts
Yes,
broke
sir.
out and the balances listed on each one of them?
I thought you included that, Aaron.
Yeah, I do include it every month. It comes in the report, in your detail report.
Wow.
One of the questions that was brought up yesterday when we were speaking was that some of these accounts, even if you collect the $2 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it isn't that it just goes into one account, that $2 has to be separated out.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is it, if you collect the $2, you don't put that into account, that $2 has to be broke down into different accounts. Are we doing that?
We're getting checks from, let's say, from the county clerk's office. We
But
just have to check
what I'm
those
saying
into one
is,
account.
there's a percentage of that if it's just, per se, $2, there's a percentage that's supposed to go to X, and a percentage of that that's supposed to go to Y. Are we breaking it out? And I guess the only way we're gonna find out is I think Anna has that information, if you'll sit and get with her to make sure that it's being broke down.
Yeah.
Because you're probably putting it, the $2 into one account,
Okay.
but I think it needs to be broke down.
I think-
Different accounts once it's collected.
Then unfortunately, we're following what my predecessor has been doing.
Well, I mean-
And
The clerks turn in a report like this that breaks down all the fees they collected, so they're listed on there. So all you need to do is take that but we need to make sure the lists are correct, take that and account for it by,
Since we don't have the list, Anna, could you get with, I mean, like you were explaining to me last night, was that, some of these accounts that we collect money from, there's a percentage of it that's supposed to go to this and a percentage supposed to
Right.
go to that, and you're supposed to break that down even further.
and that's what, yeah.
And that's the issue that we're having, it might not be broke down.
within
Right.
that account.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Counselor, you also mentioned that there were some fees being charged that we didn't know about, some accounts?
That we don't know that those funds exist?
Right.
Yeah.
Do we know, is there a way to trace those?
There should be. I mean, if it's been written, if there's been a check written out, there's
And find out
all the
where
fees
they
should
went
be
and
in
then,
reports that the elected officials give us.
so we can trace them and
Should be able to
transfer
trace them,
where
yes,
they
sir.
need to go.
Yes, sir. I guess we'll sit down with county attorney and look over exactly what we
And
did.
I think one of the things that, looking through all this, that we found out is a lot of these funds still, even though we don't say where the money goes, a lot of these funds still have to come to the court to be expended, and that's not happening.
And like in the county clerks, it says records management fee, but they're charging under different statutes. So that one's gonna need to be broken up, and the same thing with the archive fee, because that's not all the county clerks. And then the justice technology fee is being credited to county court of law. So, and it's supposed to be county court law, county court, and I think probate. And then the district judges have theirs too, that's split with them, so. We're looking. And I won't talk to you anymore.
You answered the phone.
She answered the phone call the first time last week.
Thank you. Anything else? I'm sorry?
And at 8 o'clock last night, she was going through all this, really?
If nothing else, then this meeting's adjourned.